All right.
I believe it now. So.
Okay, there we
All
go.
right, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So, before we ask any questions, I just wanted to first say, congrats. Like, the reception for this and your role has been great feedback. Like, great feedback. So,
It's
congrats.
been nuts. Thank you. Thank you.
I bet. Like, did you kind of, like, before we get into everybody else's questions, I want to ask, did you kind of anticipate this to happen?
No. Oh gosh, no. We were trying to be, especially Damien, he is like the eternal pessimist.
Right.
He's just like, yeah, don't expect anything, man. It's like because we did it because we knew some of the fans that had seen All Hallows Eve wanted a full art movie.
Yeah.
And that's why we made it. We made it for those fans. And we're like, well, we're making it for the fans. We hope they'll like it, and if anything else happens, yay, but we're just hoping the fans like it. And we did not expect it to explode like it has. So just that's been mind blowing. I'm still trying to get my mind around all of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure it's like an adjustment. One of our most recent interview was with Paul Taylor, and he like went from doing like theater and things like that to all of a sudden having like this role as Pinhead and trying to get used to that and doing all these cons and interviews and everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sure it's been an adjustment. I saw that you went to Taylor, right?
Yes, I did go to show. I was there for that bomb scare.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that all started in my room too. I was like in the room like Paul Sorvino and like Kelly Hugh and Kim Fields and Vincent Pastore and all them. And we're sitting in there and we see all these like firemen coming in, but they don't look like New York firemen. So I was like, are these guys cosplaying? Because they don't look like firemen. Like there's like this big, huge, overweight one. And I'm like, nah, he's cosplaying. They have like little sniffers and stuff like that. These little things, little pump sniffers. And they're like, okay, everybody, we need to ask you to vacate this room. We're like, there's a gas leak. We're like, oh, I smell it now. Yes. Okay, let's get out. So like we vacated that area, and I'm like, we're like my manager and I are like standing by like the front door of the whole conference center, hotel slash whatever it is, and like Hot Lips Houlihan from like MASH comes over. She's like freezing, so I'm trying to keep her warm. So we're just huddling there, and then they're like, okay, everybody needs to get out of the building now. There's a bomb scare. Everybody get out now. So we're like, oh, great. Bye, Hot Lips.
No,
I didn't hear about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I still don't know if they actually found anything or some nut job just called it in or something like that. But I'm like, we like missed like 4 hours of the busiest day of the convention on that Saturday out there in the parking lot. A lot of people left. So, like my manager and I, our like car was right outside of the evacuation zone, so we could watch everything happen. So we just sat in there, stayed warm. Like Ice-T and Coco pulled up besides us. Like they got Carmen Electra in the back with them, and I'm like, this is random. And like Ice-T was pissed off, and like my manager Bob used to represent him, and he was just like, T's pissed. We're not going to talk to him. I'm like, no problem. I don't want to mess.
Well, that's the thing. I've seen Ice-T with body count, and he's definitely from
Not
Atlanta.
someone-
Like, he's
yeah.
not somebody you piss off. So.
Yeah. So I was like, but that was just like the most random thing. I'm like, this is weird. This is like Kim Fields was like live tweeting from the whole entire thing. It was hysterical. I'm like, Tootie, go Tootie. I think that's like how all of us got to know each other in the room because like the next day all of us come back in and we're like, so how is everybody?
Yeah.
So it was crazy. It was really crazy, but you know, what can you do?
Yeah, right. I mean, you just kind of gotta like get through it and hope for the best the next day, I guess, right?
Yeah. It just sucked because a lot of guests left and it was just like there were some people that, like that was the only day they could make it there and they're like, "Hey, I'm sorry I missed you." And I'm like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah. That's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
see. I mean, hopefully any other conventions you do go a little bit better.
I should hope so. There's just a lot of assholes out in the world that you need to calm down.
Yeah, definitely. Now we have a question. First question is, how the heck were you able to ride that tiny bike?
That was a challenge because I'm like 6'2".
That's what we
what
were
I was
wondering.
saying. It's like,
Yeah.
like even throughout the movie, you look really tall.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
on such a tiny bike, I'm like, how is that? Like, how many takes is that?
Yeah, we at first didn't know if I was going to be able to even ride the thing, especially with those big, huge shoes on, too. It was like, Damon's like, we'll see if you can ride this. If not, we'll figure something out. I'm like, oh, I'm determined. I am determined to ride this damn thing.
And it was a great scene.
It was a great scene. Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. I was like, but you know, like that crash you see in the movie is a real crash. I was falling off that thing constantly. It was just, but like, I think they couldn't keep other ones because I was just giggling so much because I was like, I'll be riding and all of a sudden I just go poop. Just like, well, we got to redo that.
Well, yeah, because it's like I just saw the scene and I'm just like, okay, I gotta ask David, like, how was he able to do that? Because like,
it is a great scene.
Oh yeah. I couldn't do it. Like,
it's very eerie, but like funny, you know?
Yeah, which there was that were comical, that was just demented but comical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we definitely were like laughing a lot that night. I think it's because we're also delirious because I think we were doing that about 3:00 in the morning. So we're just like, I think at one point I just started singing Bicycle Race while I was riding around. Just like, which had been really, I think Samantha got that on video too. I hope she's got the video of that somewhere. Just me going, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. It was, that's what we would do.
I mean, you're having fun, so that's good.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Yeah. Next question is from Elle, and she asks, how did you find playing the part completely silent? And she's wondering if you had any mime training.
Yeah, I don't really have mime training per se, but I have a lot of like clowning and physical comedy training. I kind of just grew up watching the old silent films and like Mr. Bean and Jim Carrey and Doug Jones and all those guys, and I learned from watching them. And then I had the total just wonderful fortune of being able to understudy Stephen Carl, who was Robbie Rotten on Lazy Town for 5 years when he was the Grinch in the national tour of The Grinch Stole Christmas. I was his understudy for that. So he's like well, I hate saying he was. He recently passed away from cancer, but he was a master at physical comedy. He actually went to clown school and studied that. So it was the first time I actually met an actor who had my style of acting but had more experience, so he could actually take me under his wing and fine-tune everything that I had done. So, I mean, I consider him my Socrates of comedy in that way. So, or clowning. Socrates of clowning. That's a good way to put it. So, yeah. So that's where I got that from. So I mean I found it to be a lot of fun because I'd always wanted to play a character like Mr. Bean because I grew up watching. I just loved Mr. Bean. I was like, I would love to play one of these just mischievous characters like this is like, or like Harpo Marx type of character that's just like he's silent but he's up to no good, and I love that kind of character.
He was up to no good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely up to a little bit of mischief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our next question comes from Ian, and he says, did he base his actions off anyone/any clown or any psycho in particular?
A lot of them. I just took, like I was saying, like with the silent film actors and stuff. I took a lot of that and just blended that in my head with like Freddy Krueger, like Robert Englund's portrayal of Freddy Krueger, and like a little bit of Brad Dourif as Chucky in there too. Is just like put a little Mike Myers and Jason. I kind of blended both horror and comedy in my head in whatever blender I have up there, and that's what Art is. I like to say that Art is basically the bastard child of Freddy Krueger and Harpo Marx.
I like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's my approach to him.
Yeah, I like that. And the follow-up question to that is, how did you stay in character during the sign scene? You know the one.
That was I was able to stay in character with that one, especially because that was a very serious night on set when we're doing all that with Catherine, because that was a very dangerous stunt. We'd only allow her to hang upside down for like 30 seconds at a time, then we'd swing her back up. So trying to keep her as safe as possible. She still got sick from it, unfortunately, but I think that's what helped me keep in character that night, because I knew how serious that was. And now when I actually, because we filmed that in 3 different parts, so we filmed the part with Jenna first back in October of 2015, because she had to leave us to go film Bye Bye Man. So we filmed that first, all of her reactions. Then we filmed in a different location with Catherine that night, and then another night we filmed with her the body the full body mold that we made of her, so I could actually cut that in half. And that was the fun part. That's where I really got to get in character, because I actually got to saw through that thing, and that was a lot of fun.
It looked like he was really into it, just like
Yeah.
I was having a blast.
how can you not?
Yeah.
Because I actually got to cut into that thing, like, yes.
That would be
fun.
Yeah. And the question for me is, what are some of your favorite horror movies, and who would you say is your favorite horror icon?
Oh yeah, well I would say my top 5 that I usually give out are basically classics. I would say like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Omen, Halloween, and probably, which one do you usually say too? There's so many. Probably Exorcist or something like that. Yeah, they're all good. It's hard to choose though. There's so many good ones out there.
Yeah, and different genres too, right?
Oh,
like
so many
subgenres.
Yeah.
Everything.
As for my favorite character, I would say Freddy Krueger by far. I just think he is just one of the most creative horror villains ever created, because that's a horrifying concept. It's not something that's actually in the physical world, but something in the dream world. So like, you have to fall asleep. You have to, or you will die. And that idea that this killer is in your dreams, that he can do whatever he wants. And so that just leaves so many possibilities that they can do with that kind of character. And it's just like, that's why I love him so much. And plus he's so charismatic. That's what I love about him.
Not a lot of icons that speak, right? So
yeah,
but he was always the one that spoke. And growing up in the '80s, like, he terrified me.
Oh yeah,
I want to go to sleep.
I mean, scary as hell just to look at.
Like,
but then the stuff he does are just horrible too. But there's this lovable side of him too, because he's just so much fun to watch, because he's having so much fun in what he's doing, and that's what I wanted to put into Art as well. It's like, he's having fun doing this, and so that's why I love Freddy so much. I think Robert Englund is like the one that brought some of the most inspiration to the character of Art.
Nice.
Yep.
Good inspiration.
Yeah. Next question is from Ian, and if you can't, that's fine, but if you can say, do you have any future plans to play Art again? And he says, please say yes, please say yes.
Yes, of course. We're actually writing the sequel right now, so that we have some crazy ideas. I mean, that's the scary thing about making a sequel, though, is trying to surpass what you already did in the first one, like especially like the hacksaw scene and my Buffalo Bill scene. I'm like, how the heck are we gonna outdo that? Oh my god!
That have surpassed the first one. Aliens is a good example.
Yeah.
Aliens was kind of its own entity, but nonetheless, Terminator 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was also its own entity.
Yeah.
The first one was very much like Arnold is just a stalker.
My signal's going weird for a second. There we go. Okay.
Are you good?
Couldn't.
Oh.
someone's.
It's like, yeah.
It froze for a little bit there.
There we go.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
How we doing?
Yeah, and you know what?
Yeah, there we go.
It's working for you now?
Better for you, David?
Yeah, it's working better now.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
It was just going.
I hate when
I know, right? Okay. Oh, another sequel that I find that is actually a little better than the first, only in the way that you get to actually explore the character himself more, is The Collection. I don't know if you've seen The Collector or The Collection.
No, I have not. I have not seen that.
Oh, I highly recommend it.
one of her favorite movies.
I'll have. Cool.
Maybe it'll inspire art.
You never know. He's the directors of like the makers of Saw, Marcus Dunstan. He did The Collector, and so
okay.
The Collector is very like trap based. You know, he always takes one victim and brings them back, and then the second one you get to see where he takes these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I found that really interesting.
Yeah, it gives you more of a story.
Yeah. Now, next question is: with all of the voice impressions you do, have you tried?
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Have you ever tried giving art a voice, even off camera, in your own time?
Yeah, not. I mean, I guess a little bit more with like the laugh, but not really voice per se. I was goofing around a lot. I think like more the voice I was doing for him was almost more Joker-like, but. Yeah. I was thinking it'd be really funny if he just had a really normal sounding voice. I think that'd just be. He had just really like all of a sudden now it's like, hi, how are you doing? I think that would just be hysterical.
Yeah, just like a kind of calm, like normal voice that you anticipate it to be something like
maniacal.
Yeah, but if you had
very
like a
soothing, like, hi.
Really funny.
Like a businessman, like going for an interview.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you now.
Nobody would expect it either.
No. What, do I look like a clown? Am I here to amuse you or something? Is that what it?
I don't know if you watched it, but I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel, and I got to see you are amazing at impressions. Like,
oh, thank you.
Are very good.
You told me, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, you're very good at impressions. Like and you do the Joker really well.
I have seen the Joker video because I did see you do the Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke, yeah. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite monologues of all time. So I'm like, I had to put that on like tape. I was like, I love this monologue.
It was you did a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I found you on YouTube. I think I was watching a few other horror channels I'm subscribed to, and just you did a interview with someone else on there, and I was watching it, and I was like, oh, cool, awesome. And then I came across your channel and checked out all your impressions and was just like blown away.
Yeah, because the only impression I had seen was like you on stage doing the Killing Joke, and I was like, wow, like this is good. Like that is like and like you were obviously idolizing and doing Mark Hamill, and it was just like, wow, that is so down to the key, like fantastic.
Thank you. I can't totally do a full Mark Hamill though. I'm like, I think he's just got the best version of Joker out there. So
yeah, I agree too. Next question is from Ian, and it's: actors sometimes get a character bio to study before playing the role. Was there a backstory on Art the Clown that you read that maybe fans don't know about, or was this kind of your own hilariously blissful, psychotic, creepy baby?
A little bit of both, because like Damien and I, since he was doing my makeup, we spent like over 100 hours in that chair together alone. And so we really got to talk a lot about the character. So we were actually coming up more of his he already had some ideas for his backstory, but we were coming up with other parts of his backstory. We're still even doing that. And so yeah.
new one that there's still a lot of strange things that were like, what makes art tick? Why
Yeah,
he?
exactly. Exactly. So I mean, I know a lot about who he is, but that was stuff that Damien and I just discussed on the fly, and we're still creating part of it still. Like the one thing we want to make sure that he's just not a sympathetic character at all. If we ever do reveal his whole entire backstory and stuff like that, just like we want people to understand he is evil incarnate. You don't want to pity this guy. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny that it's interesting that you mentioned that, because that's one thing that I know you mentioned before. A lot of people were speculating on the part with the character closer to the end who, kind of had Art sucking his thumb, and people were
hmm
like, oh, did she break him? But no, it's Art toying with her, right?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
not, yeah,
Exactly.
I know exactly what
Because
character.
he knew that she's this woman that's obsessed with, a child. She's
yeah,
never had a child. She's like coping, so that she's made this baby doll her child. So he's like, this is how I can lure her in.
right,
Mm-hmm.
This is
exactly,
how I can bring her into this comfort zone so I can go in for that kill.
right,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah.
That's how I saw it too. I know some people though were speculating whether or not she kind of broke him in that moment, and I was like, I don't think
Like
that's
made
the
him human
case.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
no, he was totally messing around with her.
yeah. Um, Next question is, at the end of the film, Art is eating human flesh and then pulls the gun on himself.
Mhm.
Fast forward to the morgue scene where all the weird things happen. Is Art more powerful from eating the human flesh like the Wendigo? Or are you still kind of working that out?
Column A, column B.
Little bit of column A, column B.
Maybe, maybe. Maybe
Okay,
not.
we'll find out. And sidetrack from that same question is, what the hell was he doing in the pizza place restroom? Does anybody know?
Making shirt art.
And we have a question, next question from Conan. What was your favorite scene to do?
My favorite scene was the pizzeria scene.
Okay.
That was just a blast to do because you get to see so many different aspects of the character in that scene alone. You
Yeah.
you see his like creepiness. You see his just outright murderous nature in that scene too, and you see his his sense of humor in there too. There's
Yeah.
Yeah,
just a lot to see with them.
it's
So
true.
I think that's like that scene is like how that really brings the audience in. They understand the character already.
Yeah.
And I think, and also that part is like one of my favorite parts, and what really drew me in and really loved you as a character was when you were just simply just staying there, and then you suddenly smiled like and looked at her, and like I just love that setup and that scene where you're just
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's
like it was
great.
great,
Hmm.
great scene,
Um,
and it just sets it up.
Yeah.
It's just like what is in his mind and what is digging. Like he
yeah.
obviously loves him.
He just
Um,
wants to mess with.
yeah.
He's all about just causing all kinds of chaos and all that kind of stuff. That's what he loves to do. It's fun for him. That's what he thinks is fun and entertaining.
Yeah. Next question is, now that you've grown a following and done a convention or two, um, have you had any interesting or strange encounters yet with fans or anything like that?
Any interesting encounters?
Yeah, any kind of interesting fan encounters?
Not
Memorable, I guess you could say.
Yeah, nothing crazy yet.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, like I would say for the most part, everybody's been really cool. They're just all excited to meet me, and I'm excited to meet them. I'm like, that's what people. There's that whole like this whole stereotype of horror fans where people think these people are just very antisocial weirdos and stuff. Like, my God, no, they're just regular people.
Exactly. And that's like the second part of the question is, are you enjoying being a part of the horror community?
Oh
Like,
God, yes. It's been so much fun. It's blowing my mind. Just like meeting so many cool and fun people.
yeah, it's a great community, and everybody is kind of like you see familiar faces at conventions, and you know, if you don't live in the same place, you still get to see them at conventions or
Yeah,
online. You share the same interest, and yeah,
and
it's
it
a
seems
great
very
community.
supportive of one another, and that
Yeah,
like it's a community also that you can talk to them, and if they're not going to be arrogant or ignorant like
yeah,
some
Yeah.
like conventions, and you can like we went to a convention recently, and we were able to talk to whoever for like half an hour to
yeah. I
not
had
like
a
Yeah.
not like a soup kitchen where it's like rush rush rush.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. That's what's really been amazing to me too, because like my first convention was at Mad Monster Party in Arizona, and they had like the biggest of the big there. They had like Robert Englund, Kane Hodder, Tyler Mane, all those guys. And I'm like Damien and I are both big horror junkies. We're just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and like Tom Savini. And like that's who like Damien idolizes, Tom Savini. So we're just like, I cannot believe we're here with these guys. And we were so just nervous because we're like, oh, we're the babies. These are like the legends. We're like, oh my gosh. But we just ended up just sitting down and shooting the shit with them, especially like Tyler Mane. We had like dinner and drinks one night with him, and it was just so much fun. I was like, these guys are just awesome. It's just like they're all just really nice guys, every single one of them. I have nothing bad to say about any of them.
yeah.
It's funny because like all of us kill people on screen. We do horrible, horrible things to people, but they're all big teddy bears in real life.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Well, Bob Elmore from Texas Chainsaw Massacre too.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, Bob's he's a
looks
sweetheart.
like looks like a biker. Like
like
he
a
would kill it.
huge,
Like a
yeah,
huge
Yeah.
biker that would kill you any
He's
moment. But
huge. He made me feel little.
yeah, he's just a teddy bear. He's just
yeah.
like, oh, anything you guys want. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was so kind, and yeah, and then when I went to get a picture with him, he just like gets up and just like towers over you, and it's
Yeah.
like, whoa.
well, even Kane Hodder. Like Kane is
Kane
like a
is,
big boy,
yeah,
but he's
Yeah.
a big teddy bear.
yeah,
Yeah. I
everybody's
love it.
great. Yeah, we love doing conventions and getting to actually meet the people that we talk to and stuff. I had
Mhm.
a great conversation with Doug Bradley about
Yes.
decorations, and he was so kind and got to meet Bob Elmore.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Savini was there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just tons of people. Kane, we met Kane at a Shock Stock. Yeah, it's a great time. It's a nice community to be in,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that the actors and the directors and everybody involved in the actual movies really embrace it, and it's nice to see because with horror, especially these days, like at Fan Expo, it's kind of dying down. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's no horror, like the horror area is so small
Yeah.
that I think people realize that, you know, especially everybody involved in making the movies, I think they truly realize that with horror, the fans really help make it as well.
It's true,
They
and
do.
horror is definitely more so on the rise again. Because I mean, if you look at Stephen King's It, you look at how well Halloween has done, and
Hmm.
for example, Terrifier is doing great on Netflix and other media. And he started out doing, if I'm not mistaken, it was at a film festival, and then it got picked up later
Yeah.
at Central, and then now it's just
It
exploded.
exploded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Netflix, especially, that's Netflix did wonders for us.
Oh, exactly. I was going to say is that like, how do you feel? Like, you must get more exposure now, especially with Netflix, because
Oh yeah, I mean it's like I've seen like celebrities actually tweeting stuff out about us, which is amazing. Like Shane Dawson
no,
and like Lily Reinhart from Riverdale is just like I'm like, are you kidding me?
your performance in the movie was fantastic. Like,
Yeah,
it's
a
Thank
lot.
you.
easily probably one of the best films I've seen this year, and it's like in terms of violence and gore, it was right up there, and like. I recommend it to everybody, but I'm just like, if you're a little squeamish, you might not.
Yeah,
Well, we just wanted to bring stuff back to the basics, because
yeah,
I think horror films in the past 20 years or so have been playing it so safe.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
definitely.
it's they're not having fun. They're trying to be so thought provoking and just yeah, like yeah, just I don't know what they're doing, but they've lost what made horror fun for so many of the fans.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. We want to just bring it back to like the basics. Like, okay, yeah, minimalistic plot, minimalistic character development. Let's just have a big, huge, long cat and mouse game with lots of gore and put the humor in there.
Yeah. And
That's what we did.
Some great humor in it.
Next question. We already covered this, but someone picked up that you know, the silent films that you were mentioning and all your influences. They mentioned that they feel like some scenes were influenced by Charlie Chaplin, just darker. And did anything blooper reel worthy happen during filming? I know you mentioned the bike was one.
Like blooper reel worthy. I would say they like when I was doing all the faces, I think they got about 5 minutes of me just making faces at the camera because they forgot to yell cut. Because they were just busy watching me make faces, so I was like, that's probably more than anything else. But like I would say more like not really blooper reel wise, but the scene, my Buffalo Bill scene, we actually did two entirely different takes on that.
Oh.
The other version, I actually had the baby doll with me, and I came out with it suckling on my boob. And I was using the baby doll to help me find the sister. So I was doing a lot of puppetry with the baby doll, and it's like whispering in my ear and like pointing out where she's hiding at and stuff like that. So it was totally different. So that was a little bit more, different type of creepy that we were doing with that one. So
wasn't it your friend who watched the Buffalo Bill scene and you're like, that's it, I'm out?
Yeah, well, I have a friend who he's not horror is. I mean, he's not completely into horror. He doesn't watch a lot of horror, and I was like, we're gonna watch Terrifier tonight, and he's like, what's this? And the part where you came out, Buffalo Bill style, he's just kind of staring, and he goes, I'm done. Like, I'm done.
Well, me, I was just like, this is fucking hilarious. It's great.
Yeah, he was just like amazed by it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe this right now. This
is
crazy.
This scene made me laugh so much.
Yeah.
Just
it was fun.
Mannerisms and the way you're walking was like,
it was great.
So unexpected, so good.
Yeah. Well, Damien wanted some creepy walk, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, it was almost like Javier. Like,
Javier
almost
bouquet.
Yeah, like it was just like the way you arch your arms and everything, which is like,
it's good.
What's going on?
Yeah. Next question. Are you ready to fill some big shoes, no pun intended, in the slasher film universe? Apart from the Hatchet films, the horror world needs a fresh slasher franchise that's creepy as hell. What you guys have done is super exciting. I remember watching the original Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street flicks when I was young. It's cool to see fresh blood coming to the forefront, and I believe art has so much more to give. Are you ready for the onslaught of what's to come and also where it will lead? Thank you for such a surprise of a film. I can't wait to see more. So I think the main question from that is, are you ready for the onslaught of what's to come and where it will lead?
Onslaughter, I love that. That's great wording there. Yeah, I'm stoked because there's so much more I want to do with this character. Anyway, there's especially this one scene that I've already told Damien. It's like I am not giving up this character until we at least shoot this one scene. It's a variation of a scene from Duck Soup from old Marx Brothers film, and I'm like, I have to do this before I hang up the shoes. But yeah, there's so much more I want to do. I mean, he's such a fun character, and I'm like, it's about time that we get another villain like this, because it's like, yeah, we have Chucky, we have Freddy, Jason, and Mike, Leatherface, but those guys have been around for like 30 years or so. There hasn't really been anybody except for maybe Jigsaw in the past since then. Maybe Ghostface Killer. Yeah, that's about it.
But yeah, you're right. There's not really been like a new age
modern
icon.
They've really tried, but they've all been just kind of bland. It's just usually just been some character walking around in a mask.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's nice
I
to
want to
see.
be one of those characters.
Yeah. But that's the difference is like back when they had Mike Myers and Jason, even though it was a guy in a mask, there's still some kind of characterization behind them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like especially with Kane, the stuff that Kane would just do with his physicality.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. I was like, but there's so many. It just seems it's been lazy with horror villains recently, and I'm like, we
With
need something new.
a lot of the icons that I've seen or tried to be icons, they don't give me that feeling of like horror where it's just like, man, I love this character and I believe the character. Like you said, it's
Yeah.
kind of
The one I would say though that has come really close, and I love what he does is the guy from Creep and Creep 2. I think he's fantastic.
yes.
I love that character there too.
I don't remember his name, but I know you're referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant idea, and I'm like, I want to see more with that as well eventually.
Well, they are currently writing, I believe, Creep 3. So
Oh, good. Oh, good.
last time I heard, and last time I reported on Creep, like, they were supposed to be writing another one. So.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Next question is: does the character of Art the Clown wear a latex mask, or is that his actual face? If Art does wear a latex mask, how does it feel to be the man himself?
That is his
Yeah.
face. That is his face. You see it at the very beginning of the film where he's putting on the makeup.
Right.
Yeah.
That's his flesh.
Okay.
So he's already like, oh boy. So yeah. Now, what was the other part of that question again?
There is. Would there ever be a chance that we will see David Howard Thornton's face in a prequel Terrifier film?
Ooh.
That's to be determined.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question: can we have a beer together? That's Ian.
That's the end. He hates clowns, and yet he
he
is
loves
terrified of clowns.
Terrifier.
Like, he loves your performance as Terrifier.
Yep.
Like, he came up on it on Netflix and has loved it ever since. So
That's fantastic.
the
He's a
fact
huge
that he
fan.
was able to conquer fear and watch your movie was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We're at the final question.
Oh.
This is from Don, and he asks, were there any unspoken tie-ins between Art's role in All Hallows Eve to his role as a main character in Terrifier?
Not that, I mean, I don't really know per se because we kind of look at this as a reboot of it now. It was like, because we had little bits and pieces, like little nods and throwbacks to the original All Hallows Eve and stuff like that. And so, like him using the handgun for a kill, and because he uses that in All Hallows Eve when he drives up by them in the car and shoots them. So there are certain nods to it, I would say, in there. But yeah, this is its own entity.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
By the way, I found the use of the gun just like, wow, like, because you don't see that often.
No, you don't.
With the icons, like the horror slashers and stuff, you don't see them use a gun often.
No.
And I felt like
Not very often.
it was crazy. Like, it was like really, I don't even know the words to describe it. It was like shocking in a way where you're
It was
just like,
unexpected.
yeah, unexpected.
Yeah. You're expecting maybe like some kind of like acid flower or something like that, but you're not expecting him to actually pull out a gun and just bam.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I always like to point out to people too, is like he wasn't even happy about doing that. He was like, you look at his other kills, he's having fun killing with whatever, but the gun, he's not happy having to use it. That was his like plan Z.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I have to use this fucking thing, so okay.
Is that he never breaks his silence, even though the shit that happened to him. I'm just like, how are you not yelling right now? Like,
Yeah. That the bird was actually a blooper that we put in because like it already said cut, and I was goofing around with Samantha while she was walking back to the set, so I flicked her off, and everybody just starts dying laughing, and they're like, "Did we get that on camera?" Yeah, we got. Okay, we're keeping that in the film.
That's good.
That's
That's kind of
awesome.
interesting.
Yeah.
and
I
it
was
was
joking around with her. I was like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Well, it's a good theme because it was such a good reaction where you're just reacting like in pain, but yet you're like, I'll still go, fucking bitch. So it's good improv scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the questions. Now, I was kind of curious. I didn't add it in because I didn't know how long this was going to go, but I think we have time. I just kind of wanted to know, like, do you guys know, like, whether Art was supernatural after? Like, did something happen after he dies? Like, do you guys know?
I know.
Okay, so you guys know?
Okay.
I know.
Are they going to reveal that at all?
I think we will, but we're not just gonna. I'm hoping at least that we're not just gonna reveal it all at once. Damien and I have talked about a lot of that, just how to reveal his backstory, and we would rather just like reveal little things here or there, not just flat out tell everybody, because I think part of the fun is having that mystery behind him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, because the fan theories that people are coming up with are great, and everybody's fan theory is always. It's going to be hard to surpass the fan theories that people have concocted for themselves. That's unlike I like to use the Joker as a reference point. It's like after 75 plus years, you still don't know who the Joker truly is.
Yeah.
And that's what's really interesting about the character. There are theories about who he is.
Yeah.
But there's nothing actually set in stone. And I kind of hope we take that approach to Art, that we can offer clues, but maybe some of them are clues, some are red herrings. We'll see.
That'd be a good approach.
I like that approach because much like how people discuss when you're watching a horror movie and you don't get to see too much of like the creature in creature movies, leaving a lot of it up to yourself and your imagination and kind of coming up with your own theories. It's kind of fun on its own too.
And a good example of somebody that you get a little bit of backstory but doesn't get the whole truth is Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a force of nature. He has a little bit of backstory and a little bit of series, but overall it's like he is just a force of fucking nature.
Yeah. He just wants to kill.
Radical clown that likes to kill.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to have some kind of tragic backstory, like, this is why he kills. Like, I look at it, it's like, he just enjoys killing.
Yeah.
He's just evil.
Yeah.
He has fun doing it.
Yeah, there's not always...
and there are people out there that are just pure evil and don't really have a reason behind it. So.
Yeah, exactly. There's people with, perfectly normal or as close to normal upbringings as you can get, and they still, Yeah, I kind of like that Art just is, he's Art. And I like that.
Yeah.
But there might be more to it as well. Like, maybe there's some other forces at work there as well, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, which would explain, the supernatural side. Yeah. Looking forward.
But I look at it as himself. He just loves doing, just causing all kinds of mischief and chaos and murdering people. It's like I look at, like, he with the character Tara, he wanted to break her mentally. He didn't really want to kill her. He wanted to kill her about us around her, but he wanted to break her mentally. He saw a strong character there, a strong, independent woman that he wanted to break.
Yeah.
And then when he discovered he couldn't break her, damn it. Okay, she's dead.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at him. He wants to maybe break people mentally and make them go insane as well, which you saw what happened to her sister later on in the film.
Yeah.
Well, at the beginning of the film, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's.
Now I want to watch it again.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and we've had great feedback in the community. Lots of people love it. Lots of people are.
Well, somebody did a recent poll where they had multiple clowns.
Yeah.
Like, who's the
favorite clown?
And
oh yeah.
A lot of people favored you.
Yeah, Art was popular, so that's.
It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like, great reception to Terrifier. Everybody loves you as Art, and everyone's
I love everybody.
I wanted to buy the Terrifier shirt that we saw at.
Yeah, we saw a Terrifier shirt at Frightmare in the Falls, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's the one that you have, except it's black and white.
The company Twisted Tees did it.
Twisted Tees. What did it look like?
It's pretty much you as art, and it just says Terrifier on it.
Yeah.
But I know there's another company that has.
Yeah, Terror Threads does our official shirts.
Yes, there are. That's where I've seen the other. I was
Like
thinking.
anybody else is like a knockoff or something like that, but Terror Threads does our official one. Yeah.
Okay, Terror. Good to
Yeah,
know.
because I've seen the shirts on Terror Threads, and oddly enough, a lot of, well, not oddly enough, I mean, good for you guys. Most of the art stuff and Terrifier stuff is selling out.
Yes.
I was
great.
I could wear one for like today and be like, yay! But it'll come soon.
Oh, exactly.
Christmas propaganda.
But yeah, so yeah, everybody's really looking forward to seeing where this goes in the future.
Oh, I am too. I'm there. Oh, this. I wish I could say plan the things we have planned for the next film, because some of them just batshit crazy, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to pull that off.
Well, we're all patiently waiting and super excited.
Yeah.
So
You got our support, that's for sure. So.
Yeah. And
let's just hope we get a studio behind us that gives us a lot of money.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there's always. I mean, some movies have done it, like Kickstarter's done it, right?
Oh yeah. But you know, it'd be great to have someone like Blumhouse or something like that. I'm like, thank you.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
That would be awesome. So we shall see. I think that's like what Damien wants to do. Once he finishes the first draft, he wants to start shopping it around and see if someone can fund us for the sequels. And then if not, we can always do like Kickstarter or something like that as well.
Yeah.
It does work. I mean, I that documentary based on 80s horror, like I
that
helped
was
fund recently, and even Friday the 13th game got funded that way. Like it does usually work. If there's an audience for it, it does work. But then you hear cases, unfortunately, like the prequel sequel to Rise of Leslie Vernon didn't get the funds that it was required. So
you never know.
It's hard to say. But
it would be the ideal situation would be that you guys get someone to give you money like Blumhouse or something. That would be great. That would be great. And we wish you the best. And
thank you.
Yeah, we wish you the best. We're excited to see what happens, what you guys come up with. And thank you for doing this Q&A.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, and thank everybody else just for supporting us. I mean, that's why we've exploded.
Yeah,
it's all nice.
Everybody, it's great reception. So yeah, thank you for being a part of this. We have a lot of people that have been asking, like, "Ooh, when do we get to see it?" So, we'll probably post this tonight, and and everybody can enjoy it. So.
Great.
All right, David.
Well, y'all have a great night then.
You too, and enjoy playing Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yes, I got to go back to killing outlaws and deer.
Well, you have a good night, David.
All right, David. Take
care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.